All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
I'm excited to be here.
I know. We've been talking about it on and off when we see each other, so I'm glad we get to come out now and finally do it. How was? We both had mountain weekends away, different type of mountain vibes. But how was the mountain?
Yeah, I think they were significantly different vibes all around. I was in Breckenridge
Very nice.
last weekend for a friend's bachelorette party, so we went out.
Went out,
Had a good
did the
time.
thing,
Yeah.
did the thing. It's beautiful. I mean, I moved out here. You did too, but I moved out here because I love the mountains.
Yeah.
Obviously, coming from Florida, there's zero of that. But it's just every time I go out, it never gets old. Like if there's a day where I'm down and out, I'm like, I just need to go out. And I was
See, I
by the 2 hours being out there, I'm like, I'm good. I'm so glad I lived here.
agree. I mean, I'm originally from Houston, Texas, which again, no mountains. You know, you don't even have as nice. I don't know where in Florida you're exactly from, but we don't have as nice of beaches either. So
Yeah, that was the only thing we were blessed with was the beaches. I'm from Tampa area.
Okay.
Clearwater, actually Clearwater Beach, really.
yeah,
So,
so that's nice.
yeah, it is. There's no doubt about it. I had certain things that were great, and I won't complain about
Yeah.
those. I used to, though, I don't know if you felt this about, we're in Texas again? Sorry.
Houston.
So I don't know if you felt like this about Houston, but growing up, I hated it.
Yeah.
Just was like, I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a normal thing for everybody, but then I got out, and then I went to a small town in South Carolina, and
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go back.
No
to
kidding.
because as I got older, even before I left for South Carolina, I got older and it's like I had so much more opportunity to do things. I also obviously also had money, so I just okay, I can go out and do things. My friends and I can rent a boat. We can get a table somewhere. We can go out and do things. We can get dinner. And so then I was like, well, I kind of want to go back because I had way more options in Tampa than
Yeah.
I did where I was in South Carolina. And I think I'll eventually go back at some point.
Yeah.
But I don't know when that'll be. I always joke I will die in the sand.
That's not a
That
bad
would be
thing.
that bad, right?
When you get older, I wouldn't want to be in cold weather when I'm older.
Oh,
I don't want to have
picture
no,
dealing with all that.
no. I mean,
Little rain, okay. A little humidity, yeah, okay. But
on that note, I was born in Houston, Texas. I always thought I was born in the wrong place. This is not where I'm supposed to be.
really,
Yeah. I was always California dreaming though. I was like, oh, California would be just perfect.
and what made you? So then, what made you come here instead of California?
California's too expensive. It's crowded.
No, he's fly. Thanks, yeah.
So Colorado, I would come probably once a year to go on a snowboarding trip.
Yeah.
So I'd been to Colorado many times. Loved snowboarding growing up. I thought one of my random dreams was I was gonna be a professional snowboarder.
Okay,
There's no snow where I'm from.
but it's
It was
awesome.
a
It's still
random dream, but I just love snowboarding. So Colorado's just, it's got a lot to offer from.
Oh, yeah.
The mountains open up a whole new world of activity. You can
Yes.
go places and be around absolutely nobody. It's crazy.
It's amazing.
And all the activities that come with that. And then the weather here is pretty nice. You get all the seasons. It's not
Yeah.
too cold. It's manageable. So it's really hard to beat.
I love that you brought that up because I say it to my parents are Florida people.
Yeah.
2 and 2.
Yeah.
They're we're never leaving. We've been
Yeah.
here since we were, kids. We're never leaving. And they always when I moved out here, they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. I'll send them pictures, and they're like, oh my God, I could never. And I'm like, you do not understand. It is not that bad.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family is from Chicago.
Uh-huh.
And I've visited them in the winter. And my dad grew up there. So my dad's perception of winter is it's freezing.
Yeah.
It's windy. It's negative 12 degrees.
Yeah.
And also, I don't see the sun for 5
Yeah.
And so I'm like, Dad, it's I'm not trying to get him to move here because I know he doesn't like cold. But still, I'm like, it's sunny, majority. Yes, it snows still.
Yeah.
I mean, have 3 days where it's overcast and you're like, oh, I'm sad.
Yeah.
And then it opens up and it's sunny
Yeah.
for the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Great. So I don't. It's beautiful. I don't know. Yeah. One of my buddies tells me this statistic, and I did look it up because I did not believe him.
Yeah.
It's Colorado gets the most sunny days out of any state
Yeah.
in the U.S.
I have heard this as well.
Which I'm like, there's no way it gets more than 4. And then sure enough, it does.
It's pretty nuts, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't think,
Yeah.
but I learned on that whole note of the sun that I thrive on sunshine. And when it's not there, you're like, I don't like it.
Yeah. No, I think that's normal. I think we all
Some people, live there's probably some places like Oregon or Washington State that are cool locations and I might be interested in, but because of the fact that they have like the overcast days and stuff and the rain, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
It could still be like equally cool, like outdoor stuff to do, but it's like I couldn't do it without the sunshine.
Yeah, they only get like 3 months out of the year that's nice. Other than that, it's all rainy and
So it's
cold.
like, I don't
Like,
know if
that
I can
sounds
do it.
miserable. In my opinion, the worst weather possible is cold and rainy.
Yeah.
By Paul. I'd rather it be snowy. Like at that point, it's like
it's
just snow.
snow, yeah.
Right.
That's this cold it needs to snow.
Right. Why do I have to wear a raincoat with 3 layers? Like it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
The speaking of like the gloominess, I know in like San Diego and stuff they have like June gloom or something, and it's like when this oceanic sea fog comes in and like they're Southern California and they're like, oh my god, this whole month is horrible. But guys,
That's funny.
it's unbelievable. Like 1 month out of the year you're gonna fight them.
Otherwise, that's pretty nice weather they have over there.
It's beautiful there. Yeah, I could definitely see myself living there.
Yeah.
Like same thing with like
It's so
it's so expensive.
it's very crowded.
I also don't like paying more in taxes than I have to. So there's also that aspect of it. But other than that, when I've been visited, I was like, oh, I could definitely live.
Yeah.
Like it was a very similar vibe to Tampa, like growing up.
Yeah.
I was. So I was like, oh, it's like I haven't. All I've done is traded a place with hills and a beach versus like just a beach.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Would is boating big in Houston and Texas?
Well, in Houston's like just a big city, just a humongous city of just shit everywhere. There's like no open space or greenery. It's just like there's
just concrete jungle.
Yeah.
And not even a jungle.
It's just concrete, all kinds of stuff. It's overwhelming. So many highways, so many cars, brutally hot.
One time I visited Texas for a festival. We were in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
That's one thing I remember. I was like, it is so Dallas, Fort Worth area. And I was just concrete everywhere, just hot, and that's it.
Yep.
And you're like, you're right, that's all I'm
It's like I don't see the appeal. I don't know.
Yeah.
People live here. How did I live here this long?
I know when I look at like, they were not to, like when they were talking about people moving to Texas and Florida and COVID and all that, to less restrictions, and I'm like, and I was there in Florida the whole time, so I'm like, I think I'd pick here over Texas.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know why. Like, and they're the same taxes, so what are we? What are you comparing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe cheaper real estate. That's about it. But
I will say, when people go to Texas, though, I always tell them to go to Austin. I did live in Austin. I went to the University of Texas in Austin for my undergrad, and hook 'em horns, baby. So I do think that's a more like a unique, fun city in Texas. There's like music, there's more outdoor stuff, not like
now
here.
comedy scene's big there too.
Yeah, so it's a cool spot.
I've never been. I would visit.
And the food is delicious. That's what they have. They have delicious food. I will give Houston, Austin, San Antonio. They've got good food.
Like barbecue or like just in general?
In general.
In general.
Barbecue, of course.
Yeah.
But in general. That's what Colorado's a letdown on food, man. Like,
it's so bad.
Such a letdown.
I will say I expected the barbecue to be horrible here.
Yeah.
So far, I've had pretty
decent barbecue.
Decent out here. Like, again, like I wouldn't say it was great. Like, I definitely prefer back home in Florida. But it's like, yeah, it's been surprisingly decent.
Yeah.
But you are so right. The food scene here
It's
is
terrible. Oh my gosh.
There's a few like hole in the wall like Mexican places that are good.
You got to know where to go is the difference. Like you need to know where to.
Yeah. It's not like
over there you just go somewhere. It's it's gonna be probably good.
Yeah, it is pretty bad here.
But yeah, that's been probably the biggest complaint. You can't have it all, I guess. You can just
That's true. We got good weather, mountains, and things to do in every season. That is something too. To circle back, you brought up with snowboarding and stuff, and same thing with like my friends and stuff back home. They're like, "Oh, the winter, like I wouldn't want to do that." But then at the same side, they might be. Few of them have pointed out like, "Well, you actually took advantage of the winter.
Yeah.
We're actually out here." So I'm like, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like Wisconsin or Illinois where all you can do is go to a bar and drink after 4 p.m.
It's cold
and it's cold and there's nothing to do. It's like at least here it's like I can go out and do skiing, snowboarding on the weekends or take a day off. And that was I don't know if you do that. I've been like I got lucky. You could say lucky. It's all about perspective. I moved out here and I got like 2 weeks before I was about to move out here. Everything was set in stone. I got let go from my job.
Okay.
And I was like panicking, decided to still move, whatever. But when I was in the winter time, I was working at a bar. And so I had like Tuesdays, Wednesdays off.
Yeah.
Or like days during the week.
Yeah.
And so I could go out skiing and snowboarding, and there'd be no one.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
the way to do it.
It was so
Yeah.
yeah.
Weekdays are the best.
Yes. And now that I'm back in a more 9 to 5, I'm already prepping my like friend
You gotta
group.
take some pow days. Yeah.
That too, but I'm also like prepping my friend group. I'm like, guys, let's just plan, because we did one weekend last season where we rented places. Where, like we had 2 groups of people. I think there was like 11 of us in total.
Okay.
And we rented like 2 little condos.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we did 3 days out in Steamboat,
Hell yeah.
which was amazing.
Yeah.
And also like we could just rip it all day.
Yeah.
Go home, eat.
That's
Sometimes they had some of the days they had night skiing, and we did that one of the days. And so it was like I was like from planting that seed, like, hey, we should just do that again. Like forget the whole like let's drive out on a Saturday, sit in traffic for 2 hours, ski, sit in traffic for another 2 hours, and then get home.
Yeah.
And by the time you're home, you're not doing anything.
Yes.
You're exhausted.
That's your day.
That's your day.
Yeah.
You're in the car about halfway home, and you're like, I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
Just driving to Breck this past weekend, because I was there Saturday and came back Sunday. Like that was like
There was still traffic
that's a
there.
quick turnaround.
Yeah.
To drive that far, and I'm like, man, doing this in a day, it just makes me like not want to.
Yeah, yes, and I've been planting the seed. Like, you should do some weekend trips, guys. Let's plan it where we go in Friday, be there Saturday.
Well, you let me know when you want to do that, because I'd be down for that.
Did you do Epic or
I didn't buy. I've actually never gotten a specific pass yet. I've only done a basin pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I've never done Epic or
I didn't do a basin this past.
because it's like such a commitment.
Yeah.
It's like I need to go this many times. It's like, will I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think depending on when you buy it,
That's true.
you kind of can get.
Which is never early, so.
I'm still paying for mine from last because I bought it like the day we were going.
Oh, no kidding.
Like literally in December, I was like,
Yeah.
they're like, we're all going on the 5th, and I was like, well, I guess I'm going.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and I bought it in the car on the way here. And I had to put it on a payment plan, or I would have paid, I don't know, $1,200. But
It's crazy.
But yeah, it is a commitment. But I think but depending on when you buy it, you can like, if it's early enough, it's like 3 times and you pay for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, when I came out and visited 2 years ago, and I was working remote at my last job, and I stayed out here with some buddies at their house. Luckily they had an extra room, and so we just did like snow stuff.
Yeah.
Just hung out and did skiing. And I went one day with them, and it was easily a $450 a day for ticket
nuts.
and rentals and
Yeah.
and so I
The rent too. That's brutal.
right. And so doing the math, like you get a pass for $700, like you ideally, if at that cost, you have to go twice and you pay.
That's true.
So as long as you go 3 times, like you're in a clear.
Yeah, I know. I always try to find the days where it was like, oh, that's a $100 day or $80 day. Like there'll be some random places that will have cheaper days, usually during the week, obviously, or off season, where it's like early or later. But that was the way we would do it, just to make it more affordable.
We need to start we need to start planting the seed for our job. We do it. Hey, days off. But there was something else I was gonna say. Oh, have you ever gone skiing like down south in like Durango in that area?
I've been to Purgatory before.
Yes,
but, like a while ago.
I hadn't been yet, but I had friends from Florida fly out and do that, and they were telling me there's lift tickets were like $85.
Yeah, it's cheaper, but it's like that's a drive.
Yeah, I know. Again, I was working at the bar then. They came on the weekend, and I was like, oh, I have Saturday off. Like, I could maybe come. And I like looked at it, and I was like, I have to drive 5.5 hours through the mountains in the snow to then ski one day and then come back the next day so I can make my night shift. I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. But no, it's way cheaper. So like same thing, like you rent a cabin out there. You got for like 3 or 4.
If you get enough people, you can make it cheap enough.
You can make, I love that you said that because I have been saying that to people. Like, you get the right group of people, and and you start doing like group activities, you can make things like really cheap.
I agree with you.
I went to Miami for a wedding, and it happened to be during Miami Music Week.
Okay.
And I was like, perfect. I'm gonna schedule a flight a day early.
Yeah.
And I'll go to like a show.
Nice.
And then I was like, I had the day after the wedding, like at night planned. So I was like, maybe I'll do stuff for the day. But then at the wedding, I was like, I'm drunk, and I was like, I'm staying an extra day. Like, I'm going to figure something out. I'll figure it out. And sure enough, it worked out perfectly. I woke up the next day, dropped the guys off at the airport. My friend from Tampa was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I'm here for a wedding, but I stayed an extra day.
Yeah.
Like, well, why don't you swing by the house so you figure out what you need to do? And
Yeah.
we have this big Airbnb and figure it out. the owner, or like not the owner, but the guy who like booked everything and coordinated everything,
Yeah.
wakes up. He met me at Halloween the year before.
Okay.
He remembers me. He's like, "Do you need a place to stay tonight? Because 2 people canceled, and like you can have the couch bed right there."
No.
I was like, "Done." So it worked out. And then we're out that night at like, we're out at Miami Music Week. It's like 4 a.m. And they're like, "You coming on the boat tomorrow?" And I'm like, what boat? And then so I look at my flight. I'm like, my flight's not until 9:50. What time is the boat? They're like, the boat's at 11.
No.
And we only have it for 5 hours.
Yeah.
But moral what I'm trying to get at is we had this big group of people. We had like 3 30-foot boats.
Yeah.
And it was like only $100 a person.
No kidding.
And they take you out.
Yeah.
You don't have to drive.
Yeah.
Drink, you have fun.
That's awesome.
And we threw like a big boat day party.
Yeah.
Like we had 3 or 4 friends that DJ, and they all like DJ'd
That's sick.
threw down on the boats. But it was like people on my story and stuff. Like, what is going on, Ethan? What are you doing? Like, how would you get to do this? And I'm like, it was only $100. Yes, but I don't know. So that's when we started thinking. I'm like, yeah, you can go to Miami. Like you could go out on the boat all day. You get 10 people. It's $100 a person for that boat.
Yeah.
And you can just, rent it for 5 hours.
Right.
And then like, worst case scenario, you're with 5 of your boys. You like the 5 girls you met that week.
Yeah.
And you paid $200. Oh my goodness, how dare you? So I'm like, it's not that much. I don't know. There are some things obviously that gets expensive.
Yeah.
Like
You just got to find the right people that want to do it. That's the harder part. Is like who's in for this?
yeah. I had a good group of guys back in Tampa. Where, like when shows would come to town, we, instead of like buying tickets to the club and going to the show, which we would have done anyway.
Yeah.
We were like, whoa, how much is it like a table?
Yeah.
And not to be like those people, but it was just like, oh, it's only $500.
Yeah.
And then you have 10 people. Okay, yeah, we'll just do that every time. And like we're all working full time, so like that's our way of having fun.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect. It was
That's
perfect.
awesome. Heck yeah. I love it.
Good times. Good times. I'll die in the sand one of these days. I always did say if I moved back to, I'd have to have a boat.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna be on the water again, that's the.
I mean, that's pretty ideal if you can make that happen.
I think, my mom was visiting this weekend, and I was like telling her that, and she was like, "Boats are expensive," and I was like, "I guess I better get to work then." Sure, I was like, "It's like you can't come visit. I can't take any more PTO. I need to be working." So, anyways, I loved catching up. I want to get into a little bit of the stuff that we were going to talk about. So that Raechel, one, you're like the first fitness influencer type person I had this podcast.
What is I'm very to be called an influencer?
I mean, you're there. You got it. You got it going. I know people don't like that term though.
Well, I just don't. I don't feel like an influencer per se.
Yeah.
I just
get a following, and you're just
a decent amount of people.
I don't disagree. That term's that term's got a lot of.
It's a loaded term.
Yeah, it's a loaded term now. It is. People like say that to people that are like, I don't want to like. You need people that are. You say to them, they're like, I don't want to be referred to as that. It's not a content creator.
There you go.
Yeah,
Content creator. I like that. Fitness content creator.
Content creator. Yes. Well, I'm gonna start with some basics, and we'll dive into some more things. But what was it that like got you into fitness? Because I always think about my fitness journey and how it's progressed over the years.
Yeah.
And everyone started differently. I had friends that started in high school. I had friends that started because of sports. I had other friends that like got to college and were like, I am the tiniest guy here. I'm gonna start working out and be the biggest. And I always find that interesting. Like, what was it that prompted you to start your fitness journey?
Yeah. Well, I have always been active since I've been a kid. Like, I love playing sports all throughout my life. So the fitness element probably, I think I was like a senior in high school, and I don't know how it came about, but I saw like these pictures of these women that were figure athletes and sport of bodybuilding. And I was like, oh, whoa, like they look incredible. I want to look like that. Like, how do I do that? And then that's when I started like, the research rabbit hole of, lifting weights, how, like, what is bodybuilding, blah, blah, blah. And then once I went to college where, like I was going to the gym, not knowing, really what I was doing or what.
Of course, as everyone.
And that's where I actually met my now husband, who would work out in there with his friend like every day, and I'd see them, but they were going to do a bodybuilding show. And I was like, oh, well, we're going to be friends. And then from there, like I started working out with them. They taught me so much. I just went into like this deep, the research just rabbit hole of all things lifting, all things bodybuilding, and it like literally, I just was obsessed with learning as much as I could, to the point that I then studied kinesiology as my undergrad degree, because I was just obsessed with like the human body and all the different things.
And what exactly is kinesiology?
So it's like the study
Don't know, like myself.
it's the study of human movement, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people will do that. Like my intention, honestly, was it's like a lot of people will do it if they want to go into physical therapy, or if they want to take like other directions afterwards. Some people want to be strength conditioning coaches. It's just, there's a lot of different ways that you can kind of go into exercise physiology, all kinds of different things you can do with that type of degree. But I was just I couldn't stop thinking about all things related to lifting. Like I would nerd out on all of it.
Yeah.
So it took over from college pretty much. And I started lifting, got very into the bodybuilding world, competed, did all that. And then it's just been probably my favorite thing to do since then up until now, which is pretty wild to think about.
That is kind of wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been very consistent throughout.
Yes.
Did you play any sports and stuff? You said you were active.
Yeah, I played a bunch of sports growing up, like from basketball. I played tennis. I swam a lot. Actually, I was into swimming a bunch. I played baseball all the way up until high school, and then in high school I played softball. They wouldn't let me play baseball. I was really into baseball. I loved baseball. It's probably my first love sport.
Yeah.
Baseball. So big baseball fan. And then from there, that's when like lifting kind of took over after I stopped playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that style that you chose, I'm assuming, is bodybuilding.
Yeah.
That's what you're going for.
Correct.
And I'm still learning a ton of this space, especially with what I do for a living and stuff. I'm learning a lot. But what distinguishes the bodybuilding aspect of working out from, just regular weightlifting?
Yeah.
And I know there's tons of others. Let's just take regular weightlifting and
Yeah.
distinguish it from bodybuilding.
So it's funny when people say weightlifting, in my mind, I immediately think of Olympic weightlifting.
Okay.
Which is the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Okay. See, I'm thinking just like regular.
So it's like, like
gym.
In the vocabulary of all these things that we studied, when weightlifting was mentioned, that specifically meant Olympic weightlifting.
Gotcha.
But I get it. Most people have no idea
that
that's a thing. Like they assume it's just lifting weights. But in my mind, it's Olympic lifting, which is a specific sport that is, you just do the snatch and the clean and jerk. Like those are the two movements of that sport.
Gotcha.
Olympic weightlifting.
Okay.
Which CrossFit actually kind of made that more popular again. Because it wasn't very popular at first. Then once CrossFit came, they added, like, there's a lot of Olympic weightlifting in CrossFit.
Right.
It really like got it more popular.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. Then there's just, like typical strength training is what I call it, or resistance training.
Now you said that, I was like, that's it. Yeah. So strength training.
Yeah. So so bodybuilding is specific in the sense if you're actually trying to compete in that sport, if you will, because you're basically just trying to look as good as possible. It's very like vanity based, what you look like. Yeah. There's no, like, you're not necessarily performing when you're competing in that. You're posing, which actually is a lot of work in itself. Very taxing, but like, it's just what you look like. That's bodybuilding. Like, you're trying to get the most ideal physique possible. You're trying to be as lean as you can, as muscular as you can, depending on the category that you're in, because there's so many different categories you can compete in now. So many now. I couldn't even tell you.
Okay.
It used to be like, there was women's like figure, there was women's physique, women's bodybuilding, or there's also fitness, which is like a whole different element where you did like a routine of like, acrobatics, gymnastics type stuff, as well as the physique element.
That's insane.
That's a whole different one. But now they have like wellness, though. There's bikini, like wellness, bikini, figure, physique.
Okay. Yeah, I would always thought about the bikini is part of it.
So there's like different categories of it, and a lot of it's based off of like how muscular you want them to look, like glutes, shoulders, like the different proportions that they want to see.
And it depends on the category you're going.
And there's like fit model even, where it's just like you kind of.
And so knowing that with what you're going for, is that how you specify your training, I'm assuming? Or you're just trying?
That would be depending on which category you're going for would determine like how you would train.
And are you pulling elements of strength and powerlifting and weight and Olympic weightlifting?
That's what you would ask. Like if you think about like hypertrophy and the word that just means like to grow your muscles pretty much.
Yeah.
you'd want to train in a certain way versus like powerlifting, for example, which is a different sport that is the squat, the bench press, and I'm sorry, deadlift. I was like, that's not it. Yeah, so squat, bench, deadlift, powerlifting. You're basically trying to get as strong as possible in those 3 movements.
And that's it.
That's it. But there's people that will do like, in my opinion, a stronger muscle is probably going to be a bigger muscle.
Yeah.
So you can kind of blend different elements of how you want to train. I always liked lifting heavy. Like I love that. I like pushing some heavy weights. So I'd always be like trying to, take it up a notch, which I think helped in the long run of putting on more muscle. And obviously there's a huge nutrition component.
Right, which we'll have to get into all that.
Yeah, so it's like lifting is one thing, but nutrition, oh man, is that a huge component of the sport of bodybuilding? Huge.
Well, let's dive into it. So let's just go right into it. So how important? I mean, obviously, I know enough to say that it's important when you just regular strength train or going to the gym, especially if you want to make certain goals and stuff of that nature.
Right.
But what are you talking about? Are you talking like wrestler style, where they're like watching you, they're also like trying to cut weight, things of that nature, or like I think of like fighters when they have to make, fighters and wrestlers when they have to make like a certain weight and cut or gain it in the matter of a couple days. Is it kind of something like that, or is it more drawn out?
It's more of, so a lot of people will go through like bulking phases and cutting phases. There's also like obviously maintenance phase, but like let's say you were bulking because you want to put on some muscle. So in order to put on muscle, you have to be eating in a caloric surplus. There's no way around it. You have to be eating more than you're burning in order to put on and have muscle. So you go through that. Let's say you do that for an extended period of time, and you're obviously keeping track of what you're eating ideally so that you know that you're getting enough protein in. You could, monitor your carbs and fats. And then obviously calories is the big element.
Right.
So you could go through that. And then let's say if you wanted to do a show, ideally you would know how far away it would be. And then you could determine when you would need to start like the cutting phase.
Okay.
So, I mean, it can really range based off how much body fat you need to lose.
Yeah.
Like people will go probably 20 weeks. That's a long cut.
Yeah.
That's a long cut. So maybe like 12 to 16 could be more of an ideal time frame of this is your calories are now going to be, obviously lower than your maintenance. So now you're in a deficit. So you're basically in an ideal scenario, slowly cutting those calories down because you're trying to get as lean as possible.
Right.
Which is not necessarily healthy. So there's that element where like, you're getting to a lean point that's not sustainable. Which
Because you just want it to happen for that event. Then
you're prepping for a specific moment, like a specific date.
Right.
So you're trying to get as lean as possible to look as good as you can on that day. Right. And then that's not a sustainable physique. So that then leads to like body dysmorphia issues. Like you see yourself looking phenomenal and you're like, oh man, I look very cool. You probably feel like shit because you're like not eating enough calories, which is kind of the like, what are we doing?
Right.
So, but I mean, you'll look good and then you'll be in that deficit and ideally you'll get back out of it after.
Yeah. I want to circle back because or the bulking cap part of this.
Yeah.
There's what I like in layman's terms there's the dirty bulk and like a regular bulk.
Yeah.
And I personally have like never done like regular bulk where I'm like, doing nice healthy take. I'm always like I eat as much as possible and just gain as much weight. Is that I mean, for me, I'm not competing. I'm not trying to get like I'm just trying to gain weight.
Sure.
But for someone that is competing or wanting to be a bodybuilder, would they angle it more toward like doing a clean bulk, even though it might?
I mean, I think in order to just feel overall better, it's more ideal to eat, more whole food sources. So I think you want to actually feel good.
Right.
And then, I mean, it really comes down to also the fact of being natural versus an enhanced athlete. That makes a difference. And I mean, I'm a natural athlete. I pride myself on being natural for life and I'm proud of it. But I think that also makes a difference.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole different slew of things. I'm sure if you're taking a certain performance enhancing drug, is it, can help you achieve things quicker, right?
Right.
But from a natural perspective, I think there's people that are hard gainers, right? It's like it's really hard for them to put on any weight. So for them, it's like smash those calories in. Obviously, you're going to want the majority of your food to be whole food choices as much as you can. But I mean, yeah, if you gotta just get a little extra from somewhere else, then yeah. Like the 80-20 rule, as they say, it's like 80% would be, more whole, whatever. 20 is like
Get you over that
stop.
level you need to
Yeah.
get to. Yeah.
So I don't think it's necessary, especially if you're a really hard gainer and you just need to be cramming in calories.
It's for me. There's nothing like
Problem to have.
I know, Eric. I know. I didn't say it was a problem, though, but it's annoying. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, no, I always have had that problem where I'm just like, I can't gain weight. I've always just been a skinny guy. It's like, no matter what I do, unless I'm like dirty bulking, it's like just eat whatever.
Yeah.
And, it's funny. I've said this before on here, but it's funny to tell people when I was bulking, I had this phase where I gained like 15 pounds in like 3 months, and I was
kidding.
I mean, I was working out hard, but I was also just like killing myself.
Yeah.
I was doing like regular meals plus like 2 to 3 protein shakes a day, and like 2 of them were usually like a weight gainer.
Okay.
And I also don't do the full scoops on the weight gainer because it just tastes horrible. Like I'll do a half a scoop. I'll do like it says 2, I'll do 1.
Yeah.
And I'll just make up another one later.
Yeah.
But I would go on every Sunday night. I would go get Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Yes.
You can buy them. You can buy the dozen for like $4
No
or something.
kidding.
And I'd buy 2 dozen.
Yummy.
They're yummy. I would buy 2 dozen
Yeah.
every Sunday, and I would just
Smash this.
just throughout the week, just like have 3 or 4 a day.
Yeah.
And they're 200 calories a piece without the butter. They're 200 calories.
No shit.
So that was like an easy way for me to get an extra 400 to 600 calories, and then whatever carbs they have because it's bread. I have no idea, but yeah, that was like how I did. Like, it's funny to say that. Like I'm just like eat rolls and weight gainer shakes plus meals, and it was a lot. After, it was a lot.
Yeah, I would always say it's like, man, just have like scoops of peanut butter after everything you eat. That'll add up.
Yeah, I need to start doing that again. Because it's funny. I like peanut butter, just like out of
that's
the jar.
pretty dense, and you can take it down pretty easily.
Yeah, I need to get back to for sure. I don't know. I feel like everyone has that where like they're a certain weight, or even like when they're lifting like a certain thing, they're just like stuck at forever.
Yeah.
I cannot get above 180 pounds for the life of me. Like,
they'll call it like a set point. It's like kind of your set point, and you have to sometimes really work to get out of it.
I got bumped up to 181 one day this year, and I got sick for like 4 weeks. I lost it all. Said start over, and I was like, all right, cool. I feel like that was the universe being like, you're not supposed to be hiding in this. Like, you're stunned right here. He's it. This is it for you. 190 will never happen.
Well, you're also pretty tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
Yeah, you've got a frame to fill.
To say the least. Yeah, there's a lot to fill it. That's too funny. What was I gonna say? Oh, what about recovery?
Yeah.
Recovery. Do you have any like specific things you do for recovery?
Yeah.
Or are you just kind of like, I gotta deal with it when I deal with it. And it's just part of life.
I think the most powerful thing for recovery is sleep.
Okay.
Sleep is like the best possible thing. To get the right amount and good quality sleep is a game changer. If you can make that happen on a consistent basis, you're going to be feeling pretty good.
Which I cannot do. I also struggle very much into sleeping, so maybe that's part of my problem too.
And I don't know. I feel like I got really lucky and then I can fall asleep pretty easily.
Oh, I am so jealous. So I'm like the opposite. Like once I'm asleep, I'm out.
Yeah.
But it's like that the falling asleep is just horrendous. So,
yeah.
It can be so bad.
Yeah, I prioritize sleep. So, I mean, I wouldn't say that a lot of people are really intense about like their sleep schedules and like I go to sleep at the exact same time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, whatever time I end up going to sleep, I just kind of like, how many hours do I need? When can I wake up and kind of fix it like that?
Are you shooting for 8?
I'm always shooting for at 7 to 9 is like the sweet spot for me.
All right.
Yeah, that's like usually where the goal will be. So 8 is ideal. If I can get a little more towards 9, even better. But that's a lot of time.
9, that's a lot.
It's a lot of time because you got to like be in bed before because you're not going to instantly fall asleep, right?
Right.
So it's like we want 9 hours and you need to be in bed for probably maybe 9.5, 10 to see if you'll, all that sleep.
11 for me, right? Sitting there.
It's like, geez.
Do you, when you prioritize sleep, are you using any like melatonin or anything like that? Well, you said you're
I
lucky
don't.
enough.
Yeah, I know. I got lucky. Like I got real lucky that
Yeah.
I can fall asleep. But so outside of sleep, I stretch every morning. Like I started doing that when I was training for. I actually ran a half marathon like a couple years ago. Awesome. I know. Not that was plenty for me on the running side, but after I started stretching every day when I was running because my body would get so tight, and then I just kept doing it, and I feel it makes me feel so much better just from doing. I have like a little routine of stretches that I'll do. I highly recommend daily stretching for everybody, especially once you crest past the old age of 30, and then the body's like, oh, we're a little tighter than we used to be. Probably should stretch.
Yeah, that's something I need. I definitely need to do that more. Even like before workouts, I barely
Yeah,
do.
like warm up.
And I kind of do. Like I know I should.
Yeah.
As I get older too. Everyone, that's
Yeah.
what they always say. But I've never had any problems.
Man, well, I'll tell you now, as somebody who's older than you, because it seems like I don't know how old you are, Jacob, but I wish I had started stretching earlier.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I wrote it down. Stretch every day.
So I mean, it could be like, honestly, if you have like 5 to 10 minutes even, I think a little goes a long way. So if you can just carve out, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever you like I don't want to do it every day. I don't want to, but I'll make myself do it because I know I'm going to feel better afterwards and it's going to help me in the long run.
Yeah, I should heed that wisdom. My uncle he's like 75.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong, but
It's like, what?
yeah, so
All right.
he's like, I'm one of your 5 listeners. But he does like this yoga routine every morning. That's like 30, like stretching, yoga, a little bit of mix of both.
Nice.
So he does it every day, and he's like, I have to do this every day, otherwise my back is like hurting. It's tight. I have a horrible day, and my dad has a bunch of back problems, and they were talking about that with my dad. Like, you just need to start doing your every day, and like that's your
Makes it different.
like what you kind of said, like that's your life now. Like you have to do this if you want to like go about and have a great day.
Yeah.
So I'll have to heed that. Yeah, I just never. I mean, I stretched in sports and like swimming and all that.
Yeah.
We did do that every practice before, and I don't know. It's I feel like that. I'll say it because I think it's funny, and it's definitely gonna sound so like caveman. But like in my head, I'm like, like do we really have to stretch?
Right.
Day? Like our ancestors would just get up and go hunt Goodell. Did they stretch?
Also, I mean, they move around more too. Weren't they sitting at a desk for so long? And our bodies just are in terrible positions most of the day, just sitting and on the computer, our arms here, this and that. So it's like, that's probably why we need to be stretching now, because we're not actually active. We used to be.
Now that you say it like that, that makes a lot more sense, right? It's because they weren't right. They were already in this go phase.
Body's like motion is lotion.
Yeah. They were moving all the time. They had no choice. Now we don't, and you need to make it more of a thing. Yeah, I think that's a big thing with just like your mental state.
For sure.
That for sure. I'm big on. I'm like, yeah, I think there's theories about like why depression and anxiety are at such high levels now, and there's tons of different things out there, but I think one that holds some light is kind of the similar thing. It's like, well, we're not moving to the same extent that we had to before. So like, were these things being reported?
Yeah.
Well, also that was being reported. Maybe not. But like, also like they're constantly moving, they're constantly working, they're doing things.
Yeah.
And they don't have much of a choice to sit around and think about like, well, how do I feel every day? Like, like I need to go out and find a deer or we're all dead.
Totally.
Like, so it's a big difference in that with like the movement. I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you should probably work out.
Yeah.
Or go outside and walk.
You need to move. Like, you need to move your body. That's what I mean. I always encourage people to do some form of resistance training, especially women. Women, listen up. To do some form of resistance training, because I think it's good for you in general, especially like even just like from a bone density standpoint. But yeah, move your body every day, whether it's just walking. I think walking is extremely powerful and very underrated. Like if you just go on walks on a daily basis, you'll probably feel tremendously better. And it could even help you like body composition wise, even. It's like walking, just walk, like little things like that, but just move your body daily.
Yeah.
I just encourage that.
I'm definitely a big fan of the hot girl, hot guy walks. I would love doing them back. I haven't found a spot here yet in Denver where I like to go. I think sometimes Sloan's Lake is a big one. I like going there,
that's
but
nice spot.
I used to go do that as much as I could back in Florida. There'd be a causeway, the Dunedin Causeway for anyone who out there who knows, but it's like a long 5 mile kind of path along the water that you can go do. And I used to love going out and do that. Just take an hour out of my day, walk, listen to a podcast, call people,
Yeah.
and then just be out in nature, getting some sun. It's helpful. It's helpful.
I find it to be relaxing just to be walking outside.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Well, nature, like, not to digress too much, but like just being out in nature alone is also like a big plus. Like when you're out there, you're again. I said that earlier. Like days where I'm down or something, like I can go in the mountains within like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But his life was not there.
Yeah. The zoom out, right?
Yeah, it 100% that, and then that natural energy around you, just to get into the weeds.
I agree with you 100%. I'm on board for it. Nature, I think, is important. That's, one of the reasons to even live here, right?
Yes, yeah, I love that people are so active here. It's a very
Super active.
state.
Oh yeah. I love it too.
Yeah, not many. My favorite comedian says fatty boom baddies around here.
Who's the comedian?
Tim Dillon. And he's a big guy too, so he can say whatever he wants. He's a big guy, but anyways. So, any other recovery things before we?
I think nutrition, in a sense, is a pretty important piece of recovery. Getting enough protein.
The next question.
Yeah, the protein part I think is essential. Making sure that you're getting enough in to help your body repair and recover. So I always encourage protein, especially the ladies again.
And yeah. What about creatine? Let's discuss.
So I honestly don't take a lot of supplements. Okay. Creatine is one of the things I do take.
Okay.
From the studies they've shown, that's been one that has been shown to work.
Especially in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And so much data and studies coming out on it that it's pretty well you can take this for working out and you're fine.
Creatine monohydrate I take on a daily basis.
I'm glad you said that because every girl I know is like, I don't want to take that. I'm going to get fat or bloated. And I'm like, you're not. You're going to gain maybe
false.
2. I don't know. I always say that too. I'm like,
Jacob, let me tell you what. Being a female.
I'm not saying that, I understand it, but I'm like, it's not going to do that.
The things I've heard.
Yeah.
Being a female that is into lifting and I think muscles are cool and I like them and I like lifting heavy. The amount of females out there that are so scared of getting too big or bulky.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I've been trying my whole life pretty much to get too big, and it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. It's happened by accident. You have to be really dialed in to be putting on a significant amount of muscle.
I'm glad you said that because I now can tell some of the ladies that I know that taking 5 grams of creatine is not going to make you
absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Anything, it's going to help you. So, okay, I'm on board with that. I agree.
Yeah.
I do creatine. I do the supplements. I don't really do any pre-workout. I did for a little bit.
I'll go in and out of taking any pre-workout, but I don't really have anything that I specifically will take on a consistent basis. But I'm pretty caffeine sensitive. I can't do a lot at once because then it could either go good or bad. It's there's an upper limit where I don't feel good anymore.
Yeah. I think we all have that, but I do know same thing. I know a lot of girls that are very caffeine sensitive.
Yeah.
They have a little bit and they're like, yeah, it's either I have a lot of energy or I'm going to have a panic attack.
Yeah. Where it's I'll get a headache. It's oh, this backfired, Yeah. It's this is not what I was going for.
Every once in a while, there's, I don't know if it's a certain caffeine, but I'll get tired.
Oh, really?
I'm I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
If I have a coffee in the morning and then I have a yerba mate in the afternoon, I get sleepy.
Oh, no kidding.
And I'm is it just different caffeine?
Well,
that's something I didn't know until recently, allegedly. There's different forms of caffeine.
Yeah.
And from different sources.
Yeah.
And I never thought about that. So maybe there is one that makes me more sleepy than another one does.
Entirely possible. Everyone's so different too. So it's you kind of just got to figure it out. Which one works for me.
Yeah, that's I'll have to look into that more.
But
any advice for those starting out and working out and just in general strength training? Let's just start there. Anything that you would recommend?
I think it can be extremely overwhelming to go into like a gym and not really know what to do. I think it's important though for people to find like whether it's a trainer or a coach or something to show you how to do movements properly.
Yeah.
Like you want to get the basics down first before you get any deeper into stuff. So learning how to perform, like I would say the foundational movement patterns, like the squat, hinge, push, pull, lunge, those like foundational movement patterns, like learning how to execute the movements correctly, I think is extremely important. So if you can find somebody that has the experience to show you how to do it, I think that would help out tremendously from the start.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like, it depends on your goals, like what direction you'd want to go. But like, you'd want to learn how to execute movements correctly before you would even do anything, in my opinion.
I'm told people to start slow.
Yeah, that too. It's like, you're not going to want to jump in doing 5 days a week of whatever. It's like, you can start with 2.
Or just do 30 minutes a day and go from there.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember there were a few times where I would start, like my workout journey has been very interesting because I did sports. I was very active. I did all that. And then, but working out like was just not a thing I did every day. And then when I started getting into it, there'd be days where like I started out and I did a workout with a buddy and just did an hour and a half with him. And I come back, I wake up the next day and I'm like, I can't even do the other half workouts tomorrow. Like, and then I'm sore for 3 days that I'm not working out for 3 days. And then I don't get that routine.
Right.
And so that was a big thing for me, was like, I'm going to start really slow.
Right.
Build up this routine. And then by like week 3, you're like, I want to be here. And then 2, now I want to do more.
Totally.
And like, it was nice for me to get that long progression versus like, just, hey, we're in it. I mean, some people understand you got to be thrown into the fire, but that didn't work for me because I wouldn't be able to be consistent.
I think that's a huge component, is the consistency. So you need to start with something that you can be consistent with so that you build the habit.
Yeah.
Because if you're in my opinion, the key to success in anything in the fitness world, anything in life, I think in general, is consistency.
Right.
Consistency is the secret.
Yeah.
If you can be consistent for a long period of time, you're going to see like the magic happen.
Yeah.
So starting slow, it's like, okay, am I able to get to the gym or work out twice a week? It's like, yes. Okay, let's start there. Twice a week, whatever, full body, do that for several weeks. Okay, now I feel like I can add a 3rd day.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever it may be. But it's like, you need to build those habits and be consistent to actually see anything happen.
Right.
So then you can eventually start building if you want to. And then depending on your goals, you can kind of structure from there. But I 100% agree with starting slow.
Yeah. Let's diverge here on this consistency topic.
Yeah.
Because I totally agree with that. And that's a big kick I've been on, because I feel like I've done a lot of things up at this point in my life. I had a lot of different avenues I was going. I was working on a lot of different things, but never like fully consistent or committed to like one thing.
Right.
And then, so there are people on the podcast I've listened are probably annoyed, but like I would say I was like kind of the jack of all trades, which is not bad. And there, purpose for that in some capacity.
Right.
But if you're trying to like push for 1 or 2 things, it's way better for you to be like, I'm going to do those 1 or 2 things every day and just keep doing that. Yeah. Because you're going to end up being at a level 8 at the same time frame that I'm probably at like a level 3 on 9 different things.
Right.
So that consistency is key. And then also, like you said, like it doesn't matter how small it is, just like brick by brick, building it every day.
Yeah.
Keeps it going. I've noticed that especially with the content. That's like the main thing. I mean, people always talk about that consistency is key, but like they don't, it's so like overlooked, or just I don't know if the emphasis is there or if it's really like talked about deep enough what that means when they say like consistent. Like everyone's like, post every day, and you're like, I should. And then but it's like, no. Whatever your goal is, picture that it could take 5 years to get wherever you want to go, and you need to consistently keep doing it, because it will happen. Like if you're just putting out content, like it's going to be seen. Eventually it just grows. Like I've seen it with just so many people too, where it's like there's don't get me wrong, there's a little bit of element with strategy to it, but it's also like just putting things out every day, even when you're not wanting to do it. And that's the hard part. That's the real hard part with
when the motivation isn't there anymore.
Right. Yeah. Or if you, I mean, luckily if you find something you love doing,
Yeah.
for instance, you love working out,
Yeah.
it makes it a lot easier to keep up
100%.
because you're like, I love doing this.
Yeah.
This is a great topic because I've struggled with this, and it's quite like not moral dilemma, but just like in my head, it's a dilemma because there's I love something and therefore I'm going to do it every day because I love it. But then there's also the like, sometimes you got to do things that you don't like,
Yeah.
and you have to do those consistently as well. But you have to draw from something to go do that thing you don't like to get you to the next.
Yeah.
It's a very hard yin and yang thing of like, which one do you pursue? Because like you could do something that you ideally, there's like, there's athletes that are good at sports, but
Right.
love the sport,
Right.
and they still make it
Yeah.
because they're good,
Right.
and they consistently keep practicing,
Right.
but they're not in love with it. And,
Yeah.
like there's just two different avenues to go about.
Yeah. I mean, I think like I love lifting, but I don't feel like lifting every day.
Yeah.
Some days I'm like, oh God, like I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's like, oh shit, like I still have to lift. I don't want to, but you show up, right? You still show up. You show up and then you like start doing one thing, like put your shoes on,
Yeah.
start warming up, start moving your body. That's what I always say. Cause it's like, you'll probably start feeling better and more into it as you're going. And then I say 99% of the time afterwards, you're going to feel so much better.
Of course.
That 1%, you're probably like, probably should have taken a rest day, but
Yeah.
but for the most part, you're gonna feel better after. But it's like it's like, I mean, like freaking brushing your teeth. It's like you're gonna do it because you need to brush your teeth.
Yeah.
You may not feel like it every day, multiple times, but you're gonna brush them. So that like it's like it goes beyond the motivation part, and then it's like it's a habit.
Yeah.
Like it's a habit that's been ingrained. It's like this is what we do. We show up and we do it.
You just gotta make it that 21-day mark.
Yeah, or something
Really?
like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
About that. But it's like the stretching. Like I do not want to stretch every day. I'm like, this is annoying. Like I would rather not. I'd rather take that 20 minutes and not stretch. But I do it because I know I'm gonna feel better afterwards. So I just basically force myself to do it, and then while I'm doing it, I start feeling better. Like my body's looser, like I feel good.
Yeah.
It's like I literally just like I'm stretching. Like it's not really a question. Like we're doing it, even though I don't feel like it.
Yeah, no, is that because of at the end of it, like that there's that kind of like shorter satisfaction? Like it's way hard. I don't mean it in a bad way, but just like there's, again, like with content,
Yeah.
like there's not necessarily a instant gratification.
Yeah.
You could argue there is with likes and views, but like we all both also know like that might not happen every video. So like how, that's when it's like, when something's like a long goal, that's when I find it interesting where like, where does that extra dedication come from?
I think you have to go back to your why. Like, why are you doing this? And you have to like ask yourself why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because I think if that's not strong enough, then you won't do it. But if your why is like, it's a really powerful, like this is content. Like I want to be a content creator. This is everything that I want in my life because blah, blah, blah. You have your reasons. But if you keep asking yourself, like, why am I doing this? Why? And you have like a really powerful, like, North Star, then you're going to keep doing it.
I love that. I had to write that down. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I've always wondered what my North Star was. I mean, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Too.
I think figuring that out is important because it's like, you could just be making content because, I mean, like, it's so prevalent now. Like people are just making stuff and doing this because they think it's cool or it seems like a fun thing, but it's like, it's actually a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's actually a lot of work to be shooting consistently, editing all the time, especially if you don't have a team, you're doing it yourself. Like it's a lot of time, dedication. So if your why is not strong enough as to the reason that you're doing this, then you're probably not going to stick with it.
It falls off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, there's that element of like love, like what you love doing. Like I recently took like a very long break, and I've talked about this before, but I took like a long break from just everything.
Yeah.
Because I was also like, I felt like I was doing, like I said earlier, I was doing so much different things, and not even just with content. I had other things involved too. I was like, I need to stop everything and like really realign with what it is that I want to do and why the North Star, because I would go through like segments of like, I'm going to create a lot of content, and I would, and then I would like 3 months, 4 months in, I'd be like, I'm just burnt out.
Yeah.
And part of it was because I wasn't doing exactly content I wanted to do. And then also part of it was because I was just doing so much stuff.
Yeah.
Versus just focusing on one thing.
Right.
And so, yeah, I definitely agree with what you were saying. There's that North Star you need, as well as just the ability to be like, that's why I'm doing this thing. Like,
You won't stop if that's a strong enough reason to you,
yeah.
because that's why would you?
100%. No, 100%.
I mean, everything takes more time than I think we would like it to take. Like,
Yeah.
So that's for sure. I've been feeling that the last couple of weeks with just things in my life where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm where I know I can be.
yeah.
And it's like just frustrating to no end.
And then, I mean, if it's hard because there's, it's hard not to compare yourself to other people too, because there's so much out there. You're like, oh, this person's so successful, they've been blah, blah, blah. But I have to constantly remind myself that it's like, I'm on my own timeline. Like, my life's on my timeline. Like, it doesn't matter what anybody else has achieved at whatever age or whatever time they've done it. Like, this is my own thing, and I have to just, do me. Because otherwise you can get just so caught up in comparing yourself to others. Like, I should be further along, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, man, this is my life, my thing. It's going to happen when it needs to happen on my
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely some of that too. I was thinking, actually, literally today, I wrote that down in my journal. I was like, you need to just keep your head down and keep chugging.
Yeah.
Because if you come up and start thinking too much, you get caught up in the thoughts, and it's like, nope, I just need to keep chugging away, and it's going to happen.
I think, and then, I mean, on that note, I think the most powerful thing possible is doing.
Yeah.
Actually taking action, because we can get so caught up in thinking about this, thinking about it, planning, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. Doing is the most powerful thing.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone finds that difficult. There are times where I find like the initial step to be the hard part of it.
Yeah.
I know I need to go schedule 7 pieces of content today. And the initial like sitting down is the hardest part. Because once I'm in it, I'm in the groove and I'm fine. As a matter of fact, I might even schedule 14 days out. It's just 7. But it's like that initial like sit down for me sometimes. It's just like
I forgot which book it was that I read that was like, just do the smallest thing possible. Like, let's say if you were like trying to write, you wanted to write a book.
Yeah.
For example, write a word.
Yeah.
Open up a thing, write a word. That's
same thing. Close that consistency of like just one thing.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, well, that might turn into a sentence. That might turn into a paragraph. It just gets you like in the flow.
Like, get your foot in the door.
Yeah. So it's like whatever the smallest possible action you can take.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, there's a great book. I wonder if it's the same book. It's called The War of Art, the war on art.
Or like The Art of War.
The Art of War is the Art of War is the military
Okay,
book.
The War of Art. The War of Art?
Yeah, it's like the war on art, which is like the whole book is about what we just said. It's about like that first step.
Yeah.
Why is that the most hard thing to do
Yeah.
when it comes to art and creativity?
Yeah.
And how I have to give you the book. You can read it.
Yeah.
Very cool. I read it when I was in a big block because it was just like a thing where they just all it does. Every chapter is the same thing. He just does a different analogy and brings up a different point.
Yeah.
But like it's all the same thing. And like eventually one of the chapters you're like, oh, I'm just I need to like just
That's funny.
push past
Yeah.
fear or whatever it is that is
Right.
withholding me from doing this. But it's very interesting. It's like it's not even a crazy book. Maybe it's 120 pages, but it's all this. The whole thing is about that. Like, just there's small things that are always in your life that are like trying to prevent you from doing the thing you want to actually do, whatever that is. If it's writing a book, like it, like you said, it's the first word. It's trying to do the paper. There's always something there.
Yeah.
You have to. That's the war on art. It's the how he put like one of the chapters was like about like there's some spirituality to it, and it's the lower level holding you back from your highest potential. Type of thing. But it's very interesting stuff.
That's
I'll also give you the
I'd love to read.
We're gonna pivot into a little bit. So as some people know, and as I told you, first time guests always ask these questions.
Yeah.
But it's how do you live yourself for every day?
Yeah.
And to refresh people's someone that's new listening, the podcast theme is live yourself for every day, and that can be interpreted 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong answer, but it's just a look and peek and decide your mindset and how you approach things. So how do you live yourself for every day?
So I always preach the fact that we're all going to die. We're all going to die. It's inevitable. And then to me, I think life is really short. So it's like life is short. There's like just do whatever. Like, first of all, find something that like gets you excited, that you are excited to be doing, something that like I say sets your soul on fire. Find whatever that is, and like if you haven't found it, keep looking. I always tell people like try shit. Just try shit because you never know like if you're gonna like it. Like this could be your thing. You don't know, but you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So you need to be like trying stuff because again, like we only have this one short life to live. We're all gonna freaking die. Find what it is and do that as much as you possibly can.
Yeah.
So it's like every day, if you can't do it for like work or whatever, like take some piece of your day and like fit that in. Because I think like that's going to make you happier. If that's something that really like sets your soul on fire, makes you feel alive, that's something you should be doing on a daily basis. So for me, I would say like I want my life, I want to look back on my life when if I make it to an old age, if I get lucky enough, right? To be like, oh man, I just like lived the absolute shit out of life. Like I had these experiences. I call it just like squeezing every ounce out of life that I can.
I love that.
Like just squeezing every ounce of it. I want to have as much fun as humanly possible while I'm here. So that's what I try to do on a daily basis. Find something that's going to make me feel more alive.
Yeah.
Like, and then, I mean, like lifting, like if I get to like lift, that's a pretty big highlight of my day because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I fit that in. It's like I love music. I'm going to listen to music every day. I like dancing. I'm going to dance. Just a little, like you just dance a little bit, like at home.
Yeah.
My mood improves significantly. So it's like finding those things that you can fit into your daily life. It's little moments, man.
I was about to say, I didn't want
But-
to. Yeah, I didn't want to take your thunder away from you. So it's just the simplicity of small things that you can just do to make your daily life better, and then they compound over time.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to live. I say live it up, live
Yeah.
life to the fullest because life is short. So find whatever it is that makes you happy and do as much of that as humanly possible.
I could not agree more. And I think even to add to that, it doesn't have to be some grand thing. There's some big business or anything like that. There's like the simplicity of things, and there's nothing wrong with the simple life.
No.
Everyone's has their outcome that they want.
Yeah.
And something wrong with getting to a certain point and going, hey, I think I'm pretty good with where I'm at.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, other people might be wanting more, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's more important for you to just have that love for yourself and know that's what you want and be happy with that, no matter what others say.
Yeah. And I feel like people need to take the time to figure out what it is. I don't feel like everybody actually knows what they like, what they want.
That's a hard thing for people to do, though.
Yeah.
I want to, it's something we all think about, but at the same time, we don't want to like sit with it too long.
Yeah.
So you start getting those like, those other things creeping in where you're like, oh man, can I do that? Like, doubt, the fear.
But I
things
think
of that
it's
nature.
important to think about.
100%.
Even though again, back to the point that you're going to die.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? Like, you're going to die, so you might as well
Yeah.
try to figure out what you like while you're here.
And
do it all as much as you can.
Whether it's like, I just like doodling. Like, cool. Doodle for 10 minutes every single day. I bet you're going to feel tremendously better and just love your life that much more. Whatever it may be. I really think people need to take a little more time. Number one, to just zoom out and realize it's like we're on this like rock that's floating through space.
Right.
What?
It's not that serious.
And then like
certain things.
what like first of all, like being a human, what?
Yep.
This is nuts, right? This is crazy. And it's like we're here for just short period of time.
Mhm.
Like learn about yourself, figure it out.
Yeah.
Because I think life's too short to do like just be miserable or hate what you're doing.
Yes.
So I think it's important for people to take the time to figure it out.
100%.
I could not agree more with that. That like so encapsulates the whole theme of the podcast and everything. I don't even want to like take it with that. I think we're gonna leave it at that. Squeezing every ounce out of life in his hand. I love that. That's probably gonna be the podcast title. See, tell people where they can follow you, where they can find you. We'll also put it in the podcast description. To plug yourself.
Sweet, yeah. Instagram's a great place. It's you got to be able to spell my name right, but it is my name. So it's at Raechel Sinuk, which is RAECHELSINUK. If you can spell it right, you're a winner, and you can follow me on Instagram.
We'll make sure it's spelled right on the podcast, and
Yeah.
we'll make sure it's in the description.
Yeah.
I'll link it.
I mean, I also have a TikTok. I don't use it as often, but it is there. And then I also have a YouTube channel, which is also my name. So if you can spell my name right, RAE.
We'll make sure it's there. Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen,
I mean,
I loved having him on. We barely scratched the surface of all our things.
Yeah.
We had such a great, fun time. This was really refreshing. So I'm glad you came on. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day.
yeah, thank you for having me. This
Absolutely.
was fun.
Hopefully you come on again. now.
Absolutely.
Awesome. This is perfect. All right. Well, bye, everybody. Peace.